Wave Dancer and Preludes to Wave Dancer stages 1, 2, and 3 should all be done when warm, and should not be done if you're pregnant or have had abdominal surgery recently, or any other reason where you should not be laying on the belly for a long time or with intensity. You should be warm when you start this pose. So we'll be doing some abs before we get started. Maybe you've done a few stretches. That would be even better. Hands behind head, fingers interlaced for elbow to knee. Feet off the floor, 4 inches lower than knees. Inhale, wrapping shoulders, head and shoulders up, spread low back down. Tuck tailbone, exhale, elbows left, right leg reaches out, pull belly down. Inhale, back to center, wrap shoulders, spread back down. Tuck tailbone, twist elbows right, left leg out, pull belly down. Inhaling, back to center, spread low back down, tuck tailbone, exhale, twist left, right leg out, belly down, and inhale, center. Spread back down, tuck tailbone, exhale, twist right, left leg out, belly pulls down. Do a couple more rounds on your own. So getting the heat in the abdomen, building, softening the fascia around the abs. So getting it heated so that when you come onto the belly, it's warmed up. So feeling the heat build as you continue to work through these. When you're done, head and shoulders come down. Take a couple breaths, and we're going to give a little stretch to the psoas and to the abdominals. So back traction with Uddiyana Bandha. So on your next inhale, take a massive breath in, expanding and telescoping ribs. And then you'll exhale everything out and hollow belly up and in. Spread ribs wide open. Push thigh bones away from hip sockets, and maybe tilt the hips, finding if there's a little space that can get made. And you'll do a couple more rounds on your own. So when you need a breath, belly relaxes. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale everything out completely. And then hollow belly up and in. Ribs spread wide open. So really unsticking by tractioning thighs away from hips. And maybe tilting right sacrum closer to floor, or right hip away from right low ribs. Or getting curious about how you can move around. When it's time for a breath, the belly relaxes first. And then take a couple deep breaths here. And bring knees into chest. Rolling over onto left side of body. Use the arms to press the body up. And then setting up for Sphinx pose. So we're still going to feel for lengthening through the abdomen, the chest, and low back, and getting the low back prepared for where we're going. So laying down on the belly, setting up for either Sphinx pose with elbows down or a low cobra with elbows up. Setting up, elbows under shoulders, palms spread wide open. Tops of legs down, tops of feet down if you can, and legs are as close as you can get them together without pain. In this pose, pubic bone always stays down, and inhale, traction, ribs forward, whether elbows are up or down. And as you exhale, ease the shoulders away from head and soften the neck. And you'll take a couple deep breaths here, so when it's time to rest, you'll lay down. Turn the head to one side, maybe put the opposite hand on low back, and take some breaths into low back. Setting up for Prelude to Wave Dancer stage 1. Hands under shoulders or slightly wider, lengthen both legs back. Inhale, push belly into floor and rise up off of chest, head lifts. Exhale, belly softens down. Inhale, push the belly into floor. Feel that aliveness through abs and psoas. And exhale, relaxing down. Pubic bone stays down. Inhale, push belly into floor. Feel that aliveness. Exhale to come down. One more time. This time maybe come a little higher. Use the hands to rise up. Bigger stretch. And as you exhale, relax all the way down. Turn the head to the right, bring left hand on low back, palm up, and take a couple feeling breaths here into low back. Now it's probably getting a little warmer. setting up for Prelude to Wave Dancer Stage 2. This one is with a block and a roll. So block between ankles and roll under belly. It's worth taking the time to get the roll in the right spot. So the roll goes under belly, not under ribs. Make sure that the rib cage is not touching the roll. And once you've found the right place, you'll come down on the belly like you were before, hands either under shoulders or slightly wider and beside shoulders. Using belly to come up on your next inhale, you will push the belly into floor to rise up. You won't use the hands at all. But when you exhale, you'll allow the hands to help you drag forward and come down. Belly relaxes over the roll. Inhale, push the belly actively into floor and roll to rise up. And as you exhale, soften belly to come down. Do it another time. Feeling that aliveness through belly and psoas. Very, very strong pose. And then come all the way down. Turn the head to one side. Take a couple deep breaths into back. Setting up for Prelude to Wave Dancer Stage 3. In this variation, the hands will leave the floor. So bringing the forehead back down onto floor, the hands will slide back under shoulders or right beside shoulders, and setting up for this next variation. On your next inhale, push belly into floor and rise all the way up. Chest lifts, head lifts. And then you'll allow the hands to lift for a moment. And then either bringing hands down first or keeping them up. Exhale, belly softens over roll. So inhale, push the belly into the roll. Feel that strength, that connection all the way through belly and psoas. As you exhale, either bringing hands down or not, and coming down over the roll. Coming up again with your own breath pace. Backs of legs pressed down. And then coming all the way down to rest. Wonderful way to loosen tension in the belly and the guts and deeper into psoas. Wave dancer, inhale, belly pushes into roll, hands lift up, and you stay here and take deep breath. Inhaling, belly pushes into roll. Exhale, you stay up. And you can move around, kind of twisting to one side. You might have an angle that feels pretty juicy to get into. And you basically stay up as long as you can without pain. So as long as it feels exciting and alive, you hang out up there. And then when you're ready, you rest back down again. Turn the head to the right. And left hand on low back, palm up. Big breath here. To come out of the pose, hands under shoulders, press off the roll. No child's pose. We'll warm down. So warming down the low back, because it does work with the low back, and it's a very strong pose. Very healthy for low back and also very enlivening. So coming into a support system to warm down. Back into back traction with Uddiyana Bandha for a couple rounds. So inhaling deeply, and then exhaling everything out, pushing thigh bones away from hips, belly hollows up towards heart, and ribs spread wide open. You might be able to hold longer, and also you'll be able to push the thighs away more because there will have been a lot of release from doing wave dancer. Any of the variations. From here, we're coming into back release pose. Bring both feet off the floor. Cross left ankle over to right thigh. Bring the left hand through. Grab back of right thigh or front of right shin. If this is too much, you can do this pose at the wall, so the right foot will be on the wall. Big breath into left hip, and as you exhale, bring the right thigh bone closer to belly. Changing, cross right ankle over to left thigh. Right hand through, grab the back of left thigh or front of left shin. Deep inhale into right hip. Low back, sacrum. And as you exhale, bring the thigh bone a little closer to belly. So using this to release sacrum, low back. From here, unwinding, bringing the feet down, maybe bringing the knees knock-kneed and letting the knees sway side to side a little or a lot. Just kind of feeling out the space and energy of sacrum and low back. Wonderful pose for warming down. To come out of this, knees into chest, roll over onto the side of the body, push all the way up, and use a hand to help lift the head up. Questions? Post a comment, and I'll try my best to answer.